doing barter trade with God. God, I'm doing this. Do this for me. Before you begin that clumsy, stupid barter trade, what did you give to God for giving you life? Since you have not been able to exchange enough for your life, there isn't a thing on the face of the earth you can trade with God. That if you can learn to lift up your hands, lift up your eyes, and tell him, my help is in the name of the Lord. If you can learn to tell him, whatever I am expecting of you, I trust you to bring it to me. You find believers who do not know how to expect from God. Whenever you lack the ability to expect, your manifestation tires. Somebody will come to church and give and sow, and then they think it's over. Honey, that's stage one. After you give your money, after you sow that car, that land, that house, that money, you need to go back and tell God, it's not an exchange. I can't afford what I want, but I have sowed. And the Bible said the liberal soul shall be made fat. The Bible says give and it shall be given. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. So God, I am in expectation of my running over grace. I'm in expectation of I will reap after many days. I expect it to be done. But when you give and don't expect, no wonder you are grown weary of giving, because you are gifting and a gift does not reciprocate. But whenever you give, the harvest is the answer. Expectation is crucial. The people who had heard about Jesus had suffered under Roman rule so long, under Roman rule so long, that anytime you mention Yeshua HaMashiach, they just pictured a king on the horse. They pictured a Messiah. They pictured a deliverer. They could not come to the point where they could comprehend the king in the man. They could not come to the point where they could comprehend the king in the manger. They could not come to the point where they could comprehend the king in the womb of a virgin girl. Can I talk to the devil in your life? Maybe they don't believe that you can come out. They don't believe you can do it. They don't believe you can get there. But I came tonight on Word Wednesday to tell that devil and his mother-in-law that you are about to surprise them. You are about to show up and show out. You are about to rise up and tell the devil, you said I cannot do it. See me, I did it and more. I spoke to my sister-in-law this morning, and she said something that excited me. I was upset where I was, and she sent a message. She said, I know where I come from, and I know those who want me to fail, and I intend to prove them wrong. When I read the message, it just excited me, and I forgot I was upset where I was. Hear me, those that want you to fail, those that don't want you to make it, those that don't want you to shine, those that don't want you to rise up, I came with news for them. You will shine and they cannot do anything about it. You will make it and they cannot do anything about it. You will get there and they cannot stop you. That devil that thought they can stop you, I announce he's a bastard. You will bypass him and he will not know. You will arrive and he will not know. You will get there and he cannot do a thing about it. I declare tonight, wherever they said you cannot go, I open the door. You are going there. You need to be able to appropriate your ability to expect what God says he'll do. The problem of manifestation begins when you look at the dream, the idea, the prophecy, the expectation, and you make a comparison to your current situation. When you allow the vicissitudes of life to determine where you go, instead of allowing what God has told you to determine what manifests, then the challenges of manifestation begins. I like what James says. A horse is controlled by the bit you put in the mouth. A ship is tossed on the sea by strong winds, nonetheless is controlled by the captain's rudder. Likewise is the tongue of a man. In other words, my life is not determined, my life is not geared, my life is not run by COVID-19, my life is not run by what you said about me, my life is not run by what you think about me, my life is not run by what somebody has concocted about me, my life is run by what I prophesy. Can I talk to somebody today? Jesus asked them a question: who do men say I am? They said a whole bunch of things. It didn't bother him. He said, whom do you say I am? When Peter answered, he said, my God, head, flesh and blood hasn't revealed this unto you, but my Father in heaven has given you this information. In other words, Peter, you have gotten the password to www.god.com, and you have been able to access information in the archives of God. As a result of that, you have become the rock, and upon you I build my church, and the gate of not hell but Hades. Hades is a prison. In other words, a place of restriction. All the restrictions of life will not be able to hold you. Can I talk to somebody here? You are coming out of every pit. My God. When you allow, second challenge of manifestation, when you allow people define who you are and where you can get to, you are in trouble. When you allow people to define you and determine the parameters of your abilities, you are in trouble. Because what will shock you is nobody wants you to do better than them. Everybody wants you to be their equal or beneath them. Nobody is praying for you to be mightier, be stronger, and be more blessed than they are. So the day you sit down and you think somebody is praying that become better than them, you are in error. Nobody is praying for you to be better. Everybody will at least pray for you to survive. So those people cannot determine how far you go, how big you become, how strong you are. But you need to sit down and look at how big your God is and use to write the parameters of your abilities. I prophesy over somebody here. Where they said you were small, become big. Where they said you were low, rise high. Where they said you cannot go, enter. What they said you cannot get a double portion. I prophesy tonight, may my God bless you more than enough. My God. Hear me. People must never define you. When man had to define God's idea, Jesus, some called him Elias, some called him a prophet, some called him a man Some even called him a demon from Beelzebub. That you are next for a miracle, you are next for a breakthrough, you are the next in line, your company is next, that contract is coming, that marriage is coming, that business is coming, your name is rising up. I declare you will get there. When men have to write your eulogy or biography, you are in trouble. Because they write according to their myopic lens. When somebody has to talk about you, all they can say is what their eyes have seen. In other words, if your situation today has made you behave in a certain way, they define you by that. But thank God, God doesn't need the permission of anybody. God doesn't need the permission of your mother, father, brother, sister, uncle, auntie, friend, somebody, ex-husband, husband, wife, ex-wife. God doesn't need their permission in order to do what he says he will do. In fact, the sheer fact that they are fighting you is why God is about to come through for you. Wherever you are, I announce it tonight. You are coming out. You will be everything God says